Hello Pink Group, I hope this video finds you well. Now with me you will cover writing handout 5 and we will write an advantage and disadvantage paragraph together. First, let's look at some tips for academic writing. Remember, there are 3 important points to consider in academic writing: content, language, and organization. Content is basically what we write. Our ideas. How and in what ways are they relevant or irrelevant to the topic? Languages, how do we write our ideas in a paragraph, in terms of grammar, for instance? And organization is how we organize our ideas. Remember coherence and unity in the previous handout. So, an academic paragraph starts with a topic sentence, which includes a topic and a controlling idea. Afterwards, we have the body part of the paragraph, which includes major and minor ideas. Then we finish our paragraph with a concluding sentence, which we are going to see in our paragraph in a minute. So, what are the other things we need to be extra careful in an academic paragraph are here in this figure. Firstly, enumeration. We need to include enumeration in our paragraph. In our case, in an advantage paragraph, possible enumerators are advantage, benefit, a good point, or a positive aspect. In a disadvantage paragraph, however, possible enumerators can be disadvantage, drawback, limitation, or a negative aspect. Also guys, to maintain organization, we need listing signals in our paragraph, such as the first advantage, the second drawback, for instance, or another positive aspect. And the last one is about linkers. We need to include a good variety of linkers in our paragraph, such as because, since, due to, as a result of, to explain the relationship between words, sentences, and ideas. Now let's move on to the production part. And in our first paragraph, the topic is this: what are the advantages of online education? Sounds familiar, huh? First, we can produce as many ideas as possible. For instance, online education is cheap, comfortable, easy to reach, or flexible. In our paragraph, let's focus on flexibility and write a paragraph with this. So, let's start with our topic sentence, of course. So, online education offers 3 main advantages to students. So here, as you can see, online education is our topic and 3 main advantages is the controlling idea. Then I need to use a listing signal to show that I'm moving on to the first major idea. So, first of all, students who take online courses have convenience and flexibility, let's say. So guys, I announced the first major idea, and right now I need to explain why it's an advantage. I need to convince the reader that it's a good point. Therefore, I need to explain it in detail. So, this kind of learning gives learners the opportunity to plan their own study. So again, I need to continue. I need to explain how this opportunity works. So how can they plan their working? So I can give an example here. For instance, they can choose to study in any location at any time. So guys, here I'm actually clarifying what I mean by flexibility. So in this case, flexibility means studying in any location, anytime. So it means they can choose to study wherever or whenever they want. Why? since there is no fixed location and time in e-learning. So guys, as you can see, the topic is online education, but I'm trying not to repeat it. So therefore, instead of online education, for example, here I said students who take online courses, or here I said this kind of learning. I used a reference word here. Or here I said e-learning again instead of online education, because we need to add a good variety of words to our paragraph. And as a result, what happens? So also I need to show. So yes, this happens, but as a result, how this helps the students. So as a result, learners can take part. Let's say can take the control of their own learning and feel more comfortable. So guys, as you can see, in an advantage paragraph, we are not only writing the advantage, we need to explain why it's an advantage, how does it work, so how does it help students, why is it a positive aspect. So if you explain this chain in a clear manner, so in that case you can convince the reader. So right now I can move on to the second advantage, and here let's use another enumerator. Let's say the second benefit is, so you can write this part, and let's move on to the third one. So we can say, for instance, the final benefit this time. So the final positive aspect of e-learning is, so you can complete this part again. So, and now I can finish my paragraph. So in brief, online education is very advantageous for learners. Yes, that's it. Okay, right now let's move on to the disadvantages. So again, let's start with our topic sentence again. So online education has two main disadvantages for students. As you can see, online education is a topic, and two main disadvantages is our controlling idea. And now I need to announce the first major. So firstly, students cannot build relationships with their instructors and classmates. So, and here I need to again clarify, so why they cannot do this, and how does it actually affect their learning process. So since this kind of learning takes place on the internet, the students communicate through online discussions and comments. So guys, here I'm actually showing how online education works, and then I can clarify actually this is a disadvantage for the students. And due to this lack of face-to-face communication, or let's say interaction, they might have limited relationship with their teachers and classmates. Also guys, you can add another minor idea. So the first major was about building relationship, and we said this happens mostly because of online discussions and comments. And also here we can talk about like improving oral communication skills. So this is still relevant to building relationships, but it's a minor idea in this case. So in addition, they may not improve, let's say, their oral communication skills. Why? Because of this limited interaction. And just like with in the previous paragraph, we need to say as a result what happens. So consequently, as a result, they may feel isolated and lonely. So now guys, we can move on to the second disadvantage, and we can say the second negative aspect of e-learning is blah blah. So here we said there are only two disadvantages. So now let's move on to the concluding sentence. So to conclude, online education may not be the right choice for students who want to build and maintain relationships with others. As you can see guys, in our paragraph we try to use enumerators, but different ones, like advantage, benefit, a positive aspect, and also listing signals by showing that where we are. So the first advantage or the final positive aspect, and also we try to use a good variety of linkers to show the relationship between words and the sentences. That's it. I hope you benefit from this video, and I'm sure you will also produce good paragraphs and send them to us. So stay motivated, focused, and healthy. See you soon.